Hello students, today's lesson we're looking at solving multi-step equations, and this is just going to be more of a combination of solving the two-step equations, and today we're going to add two new parts to it. We're going to combine like terms, and we're also going to use distributive property in these problems. So if you look at this first example, before we get to it, make sure that you have your notes out and you take good notes on these two examples. If there's anything you don't understand or have some questions, you can rewind this and look at it again, okay? Make sure you make notes on anything that you're going to have questions about for class tomorrow. Alright, so let's go ahead and start this equation, y minus 7 plus 4y equals 13. Remember, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our line through the equals, and then we're going to circle the variable. But if you'll notice, the variable is written down twice. So what that means is I need to combine these things first. So always if we have like terms, we want to combine the like terms. So I'm going to just write CLT for combined like terms. So this is a positive 1y and a positive 4y. So that positive 1y plus the positive 4y makes 5y. And then we still have our minus 7, and that equals 13. And now we can solve this just like we solved two-step equations. I'm going to circle my variable and then get to work from here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 7 to both sides, because that's the inverse operation or opposite operations of subtracting 7. And those together cancel out and make 0. And I'm left with 5y. And on the right side I have 13 plus 7 is 20. The next step is I'm still trying to solve for y. It's multiplied by 5. So if I divide by 5, that will give me y equals 4. Okay? Now, the next step I want to do is I want to check this. So remember, if I want to check it, I'm going to take this 4 and I'm going to put it in place of the y. But the y is in there twice, so I'm going to put it into the equation twice. So here we go. Let's write that in our calculator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 subtract 7 plus 4 times 4, and I'm going to press enter, and I hope it's 13, and yes, it is 13, so our answer is correct. So we'll put a big O check there and show that it's correct. Alright, let's go on to example 2. Okay, example 2, if you look at this one, we're going to solve 3 times a minus 5 plus 19 equals negative 2. So again, I'm going to draw my line, circle my variable. But if you notice in this problem, I have parentheses, so I always want to get rid of parentheses first. And the way I get rid of parentheses, in this case, I look inside, a minus 5, can't subtract 5 from a. So the next thing I do is I'm going to distribute this 3 to the a and to the 5. And remember, since that's minus 5, we're going to make it plus a negative 5. So 3 times a is 3a. 3 times negative 5 is negative or minus a 15. And then I have plus 19. That equals negative 2. And now, after I did distributive, the next thing I do is I want to see if I can combine like terms. Alright, so if I notice, I have nothing that goes with the 3a, but this minus 15, that doesn't have a variable, and this plus 19, that doesn't have a variable. So I can combine those together. So negative 15, remember I changed it to plus and negative, negative 15 plus a positive 19 makes a positive 4. So since it's positive, I'll put a plus in front. And then I have my 3a. And that equals negative 2. And now I just have a two-step equation. I want to do the opposite of adding 4, so I'll subtract 4 from both sides. And that leaves me the plus 4 and the minus 4 make 0. And that leaves me with 3a equals negative 2 minus 4, so that's like plus and negative, so that makes negative 6. Last step is to divide by 3, and I get a equals negative 2. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Now if you'll remember, I'm going to take, to check it, I'm going to take the negative 2 and put it in the place of a. And I'm going to put that in my calculator. So here we go. I type 3 parenthesis, my a is negative 2, minus 5, close my parenthesis, plus 19. And if I did my work right, this should come out to be negative 2. And when I do it, it does give me negative 2. Okay? Okay, so hopefully that you understood that. The new parts were combining like terms and getting rid of parentheses using the distributive property. Go ahead and complete your whisk, and we'll see you in class.